For the longest time, the world of AI has been this kind of Wild West, right? Pioneers everywhere, not a lot of rules. Well, that's all changing. The sheriffs are in town, new laws are on the books, and every single company has to figure out how they're going to respond. So, how do they respond? Let's get into it. All right, before we really get going, just a quick heads up, this is part 8 of a much bigger series. We're breaking down a really in-depth research report from Virtualization Options LLC all about AI training. So as you can imagine, what we're covering here is just a slice of the pie. The full report, well, it's got way more. So that really brings us to the big question for today. You've got this unstoppable force, right? AI innovation. And it's slamming into this immovable object, the law. What happens next? What actually goes down inside a company when these two worlds collide? You know, the answer tells you everything about what that company truly cares about. Okay, first things first, let's set the stage. And just to be super clear, the change we're talking about here, it isn't optional. This is a massive shift in how the game is played. Yep, you heard that right. The AI Wild West is a thing of the past. We've got huge new regulations rolling in, and the big one is the European Union's AI Act. It's basically creating a brand new mandatory rulebook for everybody. And this isn't some friendly suggestion or a best practice guideline. Nope. It's a straight-up legal obligation, and it's already setting the standard for the rest of the world. So what's actually in this new rulebook? What does it demand from companies? Well, it all boils down to one core idea, one concept that every single organization out there has to get a handle on, like right now. And that concept is AI literacy. Look, this is no longer just a nice-to-have skill for your resume. The EU AI Act makes it a legal requirement. The law literally says organizations must make sure their staff has a sufficient level of AI literacy, and it's got to be tailored to their specific job and whatever AI systems they're dealing with. And what's really smart about this is that it's not a one-size-fits-all deal. The law actually breaks it down into 4 tiers. Think of it like a pyramid. At the very bottom, you've got baseline awareness. This is for everybody, just understanding the basics. Step up a level, you have operational literacy. That's for the people who are hands-on, using the AI tools every day. Then you've got advanced competency for the developers, the engineers, the people actually building this stuff. And right at the top, you have strategic governance. This is for the executives, the leaders who need to understand the huge risks and, of course, the massive opportunities. Okay, so here's the deal. The law is the same for everyone, but the response to that law, oh, that is where things get really, really interesting. It's like a fork in the road, and companies are choosing one of 2 very different paths. And you can see that divide right here. On one side, you've got the shareholder value-focused companies. For them, this is all about playing defense. Compliance is just risk mitigation. How do we avoid getting sued? How do we avoid those massive fines? But on the other side, you've got the customer-focused crew. They see this completely differently. They see it as an opportunity to build trust, a chance to show their customers they're on their side. I mean, it's the exact same law, but 2 totally different ways of looking at it. All right, let's dive into that first group, the ones who are all about managing risk. I think the best way to describe their approach is the shield. It's 100% about defense. So the playbook for the shield is pretty simple. Goal number 1, don't get in trouble. That's it. So their training, it's all about hitting the absolute bare minimum for compliance. Their main tactic is to create a bulletproof paper trail, an audit trail that proves they checked every single box. The mindset is totally defensive. It's what's the least we can do to satisfy the lawyers and not spend any unnecessary money. And this quote from the report, wow, it just hits the nail on the head. The focus is often on minimum viable compliance without unnecessary investment. That says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that mindset. It's not about excellence, it's just about being safe. Okay, so now let's flip the coin and look at the other path. If the first approach is a shield for protection, this next one, well, it's a bridge. It's not designed to defend, it's designed to connect. And the customer-focused playbook is, as you'd expect, a whole different ballgame. Their main goal isn't just about dodging fines. It's about actively building trust and loyalty. So their training, it's designed to go way beyond the minimum. They're looking at this as a chance to really lean into the stuff customers actually care about. You know, privacy, fighting bias, being transparent. The mindset here is all offense. It's how do we turn this legal requirement into a real competitive advantage? And again, the report sums this up perfectly.
For these organizations, compliance is both a legal requirement and a trust-building opportunity. I love that framing. They don't see the law as a ceiling they have to bump up against. They see it as the floor, the starting point to build something even better for their customers.
Okay, let's just lay it all out side by side. It really makes the difference pop. You've got the shield on one side, motivated by avoiding penalties, aiming for the bare minimum, and viewing the law as just another cost. Then you've got the bridge, motivated by building trust, aiming to go above and beyond, and seeing the law as a framework to actually do good. I mean, it's the same exact regulation, but they're living in two totally different universes. So that brings us to the final question, really. As all these AI rules become the new normal, what are they actually showing us? Is this whole compliance thing just another bureaucratic hoop to jump through? Another box for the lawyers to check? Or is it something deeper? Is it maybe the ultimate test of a company's true character? A moment that reveals what they really, truly stand for? Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me.